awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up!
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a bat,
looking
I
at
don't
the
know, my
youngest
rap, my
and
blood
fastest
boils
rising
over like,
star in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you was just a fuck up real bad.
Shut up!
Welcome everyone to the Hill of the Ring podcast. It is the Monday Night Raw edition on the Hill of the Ring podcast. It is a night of celebrations. First and foremost, this is the week that marks the celebration of 20 years of one of the all-time greats in WWE, the 20-year anniversary of John Cena. And also, it is the go-home show of Monday Night Raw before Money in the Bank, although technically you're going to have SmackDown, but it is the Monday Night Raw before the go-home to Money in the Bank. But first and foremost, I want to say hello to my guys that are going to join me, my co-hosts. Let's start off with the one guy who's always off cameras, but always in the known, Samurai Salute.
Hello.
All right, and then no introduction needed. The most heelest Astro heel fan. Salute, heel.
Hey, what's up? And if you're a mark, I will end you.
All right. So there's plenty of news and notes and what went down. The first of all, can we really call Monday Night Raw last night really the Forbidden Door? Because my God, if you tell me you were going to see 3 AEW wrestlers appearing on camera on a Monday Night Raw, you would say you're lying. Stop being a mark yourself. But no, we'll get into that later on. But first and foremost, heel. Any news or notes? I think I got a little news and notes there. Anything new that you hear? Any rumblings or any?
No, I did not, and I just been soaking in all of obviously John Cena, the fact that he appeared again, because it's so emotional actually. Because I mean, we'll get to it later, but yeah, I wish we can get into it right now because I'm just so excited for this.
Well, we will. I just wanted to give a little bit of news and notes. After I know we're doing Monday Night Raw, but Monday Night Raw, we want to give a phenomenal a round of applause, like or dislike, for the AW pay-per-view. Yes, we'll cover a little bit of everything, but I want to give them a little bit of raw applause. It was pretty entertaining, despite of we will review it later, maybe after this video. We'll know, who knows, but it was really good. We saw that Jon Moxley might have a concussion again. So he might have a concussion, and that brings the world interim, but we'll leave that for another show. And then an accusation came up from an old rape application with Vincent Kennedy McMahon with the referee again. We saw former WWE talent Mario Mancini is the whistleblower in this situation. And I don't know if it's statute of limitations being put out. It's just all speculation right now. I don't have the full details. I'm just going by what I'm reading there. It has reemerged. It was the first female referee, I believe. I don't know. It's like when it rains, it pours, and it could. I think it's just piling on, and why that lady, if she pushed that chapter, her name was Rita Charlton, and if for her to want to put that away, and when Mancini brings it up again, it's like, I know, Vince is wrong, needs to pay the price, but what's your thought? Was that tasteless, or do you think Vince is getting what he needs?
I mean, I hope she knows Vince is already kind of getting what she deserves, and It's a kind of a scary topic to cover because you always get a feeling when it comes to stories like this, whatever you say, you're gonna get backlash for it. And if I was her, yes, if you feel like you've been unjust, go ahead and get it. But whatever happens is gonna happen. Life is life, and yes, no one knows what happened backstage and whatever happened. I hope she's okay, but if Vince is gonna do Vince and he's gonna get away with whatever happened, then I'm sorry and I apologize, and that's just life. And it's but I do hope that she feels okay and feels fine. But this is just a really touchy subject, and honestly, I don't know. Like, I honestly don't really know truly what to say because, like I said, it's kind of like a lose. Because if I say something wrong, you have these people coming at me that are going to say, then you don't care about female rights and like that, or you're going to have the other side going like, oh, so what? You think like all men are? That's it's just So I'd rather just say that and move on. To be honest
Right,
with you.
right, right. And we know that they went to a court of a period. There were a hearing. They went to court before and back in '92, and nothing came out of that. But like you said, it is uncomfortable to talk about it. But you can't turn a blind eye that it's in the news that it broke out and things are coming out of the woodwork there. Let's wait for the facts before we make our real opinion there. But we just wanted to bring that up there. Samurai, anything on that accusation or allegation there from Rita?
No, I just think people are just trying to defame. That's what I'm looking for. Defame Vince McMahon at this point.
There's a happy medium. Like I said, we don't want to upset both aisles of the story there because for Miss Rita Chance, Rita, we don't want her to revisit those painful memories of and go through what she went through. But on the other hand, there's people that want to take on her pain and suffering to 15 minutes of clout and fame, because right now what is going on with Miss McMahon. But I hope somewhere in the middle, the truth meets and proper justice is provided, if it was not already, and whoever is in trouble gets to pay the price, and not just in the court of public opinion, but in a court of law. But we shall see there. With that, that was a little bit of a touchy subject, but let's get from there. We saw some news and notes there for tonight for WWE in the wrestling world. Period. Like I said again, we will get into the Monday Night Raw, the Cena Monday Night Raw, the real Forbidden Door, and now we start off with Monday Night Raw with a hero's welcoming of the man himself, John Cena, coming into the arena with the whole talent behind the wall, saying hello to everyone. What was your thoughts, Samurai, when you saw John Cena just saying hello to everyone, going up and down and introducing himself to the WWE universe?
I think it was a pretty swell thing to do. I mean, because most of the, I don't think he's wrestled any of the most of those people anyway. So it would have been nice to see, him at least like doing that, I guess.
Right, and you saw everyone from top to bottom of the card. You saw Dominic, Rey Mysterio, Riddle, Shinsuke, Ziggler, T-Bar, Shanky, who's who, Tasha Saba, a hug from to Tamina. You saw Sheldon Benjamin. I got goosebumps just talking about it. What was your thoughts?
It was a very humbling and a very emotional and just a very if I had to title this, it was a really just sign of the times type of experience. And when I saw him come down, I was just kind of I was just in the moment. I was just and this is what wrestling's about. It was about just experiencing those childhood moments. The only thing I can really compare this to, the closest thing, is back when Stone Cold and The Rock and Hogan were all having a beer together, and they were just cheering in the ring. And one of these days, John Cena is going to have one of those moments with those three guys because he's going to be one of those guys that we're just going to miss seeing him wrestle all the time. And it really is different when you see him from just a normal TV show like Wipeout or Peacemaker or something like that, and when a wrestler like that just comes back home, it just hits different. Rather it's a normal interest like this, or rather it's The Rock himself saying like, "And The Rock is back home" and something like that. It just hits really different, and it's a very emotional experience because you know I it just it just hit me so hard in my feelings. So I'm just like, and I counted the ages too. John Cena debuted when I was 8 years old, and I'm 27 right now, and I was on cloud nine, and I was just a happy kid. I was like, you know what, today's my day to be a kid, along with John Cena. I'm like, I'm just gonna relax, enjoy myself, and just be a kid and enjoy this because I'm probably never gonna get to enjoy this again. So I'm just gonna get in the moment and get lost in it like he is. And then I just from right there, I was locked in on Raw.
Yes,
Yeah,
you knew there was something special. One thing about WWE knows, they know how to celebrate their past. They know how to bring in and have these type of nostalgia shows with their royalty, with their wrestlers from the past. And you knew it was going to draw a high ratings. You know, like you said, Laredo, Texas was immediately sold out the minute John Cena was officially confirmed to being at Monday Night Raw there. So, and also, wow, it was loud, and it was ready to ruckus, ready to go. And right off the bat, it gave us a treat. We had a Money in the Bank Last Chance Battle Royal with who's who there. We saw wrestlers from SmackDown, Raw, and familiar faces. Faces were like, whoa. And we also got some wrestlers that impressed us. When we saw that Battle Royal to start off Monday Night Raw and the pop, Samurai, what was your immediate reaction or thoughts when you saw that Battle Royal ready to rumble?
Wow. I was actually quite surprised. We saw people that we haven't seen in a while, like T-Bar, who had a full grown like mountain man beard going on. That actually was that's the only thing I took away from that.
Okay.
Um, you know, I mean, we saw Reggie, people like that, like the backstage, catering crew.
what?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I mean, that's I mean, honestly, that you haven't seen him for a while, so that's where he's been catering.
right. But you also saw different um developing stories. I thought that Battle Royal told us different stories with different stories within the Battle Royal, and keeping to Monday Night Raw and to keeping with all the other storylines with SmackDown and so forth. You saw Shanky dancing and being you saw that R-Truth and Shanky and wanted to have like a kind of a dance off in the middle of the Battle Royal there. That was kind of cool heel. And then you saw when you saw Jinder Mahal take advantage and get rid of Shanky. So what was your thoughts on those type of storylines? If you see, tell me a storyline that you thought was in that Battle Royal that also captivated you and say they keeping the storyline with the WWE within the Battle Royal.
The one that got me and hooked me, because again, the the Miz is the most underrated guy in that ring. And one of the things that the reason why I said underrated is because one of the things is he doesn't really do it that often, but when he does it, he'll forget how good he is at it. Is when he sold getting injured, and I was like, wait a minute, don't tell me, is the Miz about to get injured for the first time in his career? Because he got me, he really got me, and I was like, oh no. And then I saw all the medics come around him, and WWE really sold it because like, this guy's never been injured in his career. And at that point, I actually believed it. And I was like, I was waiting for the X. I was waiting for the X. I'm like, I never got it. I'm not gonna believe it till they throw the X. And we never got it. And obviously he ended up being okay. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. That would have been a big hit to the whole Rumble and WWE. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Miz working with Ziggler to eliminate, I think it was Mysterio, if I'm not mistaken. I love that. Right now, to be honest with you, the moment that would have stood out with me if what you call it, if he would have just gotten more heat, which he don't really need it because he's the Miz, but if he
Yeah.
would have just turned around and knocked out Ziggler right there and be a total of SOB, that would have went even more fire with Miz there at that moment. Besides what he did with the injury, I loved it
Oh,
there.
he did have that moment though. I believe AJ was going for the phenomenal forearm, and he just yanked him off the ring.
That was
Yeah,
really good there too. Yes,
yeah.
yeah, and I love that part there for Miz there, and another memorable situation, another in the storyline, and it wasn't really a storyline, but if you could develop it going forward, was with T-Bar and Ricochet, Samurai. T-Bar and Ricochet when Ricochet was being thrown out, and Ricochet jumps on the ladder, and my God, T-Bar who in the record he let me put the right word. I loved him. I like T-Bar. You know, when they repackage him and retribution and stuff there with Jai Jakovic and Jack and whatever whoever was in NXT, he's a good wrestler. He has kind of an it factor. I like that T-Bar character who hasn't been used since Retribution been broken up, but he was there for a while there, and I love that interaction with Ricochet. What was your thoughts on that? Did that entertain you? Do you want to see more T-Bar? I'll throw it to Samurai, and then I go right back to heel with that same question.
Yes, I actually would love to see a lot more T-Bar because like he like you said, he's a good wrestler. He's also not bad on the mic either. So I mean, I would like to see what they can do with him. I mean, at least like repackage him, as a scary mountain man because he's got that beard going on.
Yes.
I mean, I think that he's being vastly underutilized. He should be used more.
I agree. Heel, did seeing T-Bar? What's your thoughts?
I'm not invested in T-Bar like other people are, so to me it doesn't make a difference if he's on TV or not. So I guess it just depends what they do with him and if I like it.
Okay, so to you need to be you need to see more, and
Yeah.
now it's up to WWE creative and writing to present this character, this wrestler, and it's up to T-Bar himself, like Samurai was saying, good microphone skill, and I always liked him. Now he has to captivate a new audience. That's a new challenge. It's up to the wrestler T-Bar, Dakota to say challenge accepted. I'm going to take my talents to another level. I think if he starts a feud with Ricochet, who both could use it, I think will help out there. Samurai, any other thing you want to add before I will continue?
Not really. I mean, just like like I said, they should really just repackage T-Bar back as himself, essentially.
Okay, and also you saw some other different moments. You saw AJ Styles eliminate Ciampa out there. The Final Four, you saw some good Final Four. I thought Nakamura did really well in this battle royal. All in all, to the winner of the battle royal, Riddle. Were you guys surprised with Riddle winning the battle royal, or
No.
did you kind of have already a clue that he was going to win it?
I kind of figured that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you can go ahead.
I kind of figured that yes, he was going to win because like the if you remember the stipulation, he can no longer challenge Roman Reigns for the title. So if he were to win Money in the Bank briefcase and cash in, that wouldn't really classify as him not being able to cash in because it's in the contract and the stipulation does not I guess count towards that.
No, it's a loophole. That's
Well,
what it
yes,
is.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a loophole.
Yeah.
Now, do you see? Let me ask you that loophole. Do you see in a world where Heyman says you could challenge for the United States champion, and you're like, are you serious? I mean, no wrong with the United States title, but I hope WWE doesn't do that stupid route. I hope they use that as a loophole for later down the road. Like right now, the theme of the night is John Cena, and for Matt Riddle, his time is now.
Yeah, like he said, like he said in that promo. Subsequently after that match, actually, I mean, I don't know, but I just feel like he is primed and ready to go. he deserved it more than anybody else in that match, really.
I was cheering for the Miz, obviously.
It, yeah, I mean, it's would have Money in the Bank. You know what? It would have been really interesting to see him there. You also could even say with Ziggler in the Money in the Bank. Just the fact that you need guys for server purpose to high fly and all, because but at the end of the day of that, when you see the Money in the Bank graphic, there's still a spot open. We'll elaborate and talk about that a little later with it. But all in all, I like what WWE is doing. It's Riddle's time now with the injury to Randy Orton. Not long how long he's going to be there. You want to now Riddle's not strapped to a tag team, and it's time to extend the Riddle singles competition and just let it fly. Go ahead,
my brain just popped, and you know what we say on the channel, you gotta let it marinate. And after I let it marinate for just 1 second, me and Samurai's brain just kind of clashed here. I said it was a loophole, and he said it's he said it's so he can challenge Roman Reigns basically, for the title by cashing in. But remember, there's 2 people in the ring when Roman Reigns is going to fight for the title. Remember, he can't challenge Roman Reigns, but what if he cashes in and makes it a triple threat? And then or what if he just flat out cashes in on the guy that pins Roman, or something like that?
Right. He's that goofy enough that would make it a triple threat. I'm going to go with Red SummerSlam and make it a triple threat, man. Who knows? Yeah, you're right. You're right with that there. You're right there. But right now, the Riddle train, or the skyrocket, Riddle, that he wants to blast off to the moon. So he's ready to rock and roll there.
And the winner was kind of predictable at the end, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you can't
It was
complain.
still fun. It was still fun to watch because of the story.
You can't complain. You can't complain about. And I know I hear it from other podcasts. Oh, WWE with their 50-50 booking. Well,
it's not 50-50 booking if Riddle.
I know that.
Yeah,
I know that. That's my point.
Yeah.
My point is that you get a lot of these marks or other players complaining. They were with the 50-50 booking. Well, it wasn't 50-50 booking. It was, you knew they're telling a storyline, and who they're pushing here was Matt Riddle.
Yeah, it was a storyline saying how much Riddle really wants a shot at the Money in the Bank to get a world title.
And he beat all these competitors in the ring at the same time. So the story was being told, and we shall see there if Money in the Bank. He is added to it there. All in all, it was really good. And then we get to the next segment was the Jey Uso versus Montez Ford. Before that, we get a pep talk from the man John Cena. All night, John Cena was featured. We'll go over all the things what John Cena did so we could keep the program rolling. But before that, we saw John Cena interact with the Street Profits, giving them some pep bite and advice. I loved it. I love that. Yeah, without any spoilers, Cena didn't get in and didn't lace his boots, but he was all over the whole night, and I loved it there with the Street Profits. What you thought that promo interaction with Street Profits and Cena heel?
Oh, I loved it. Again, anytime Cena was on the TV, I was like, I loved it because again, in the back of my head, I'm like, again, either A, we're never gonna get this again, or B, even if we do, no pun intended, but his time is almost up in the WWE. Like,
it's true.
Yeah. Yes. So anytime I get to see Cena again, I'm just gonna enjoy every second again, like soak it all in, to get rid of Jericho. Because you need to appreciate people while they're here. That goes for any type of sports legend, no matter if it's WWE, NBA, whatever.
I agree with that. That. As we have Samurai stepped out for a second, a little technical difficulty there. And then we see the fight. We see the match between. Let's see if Samurai's in here. Are you okay now?
Yeah. I'll be back though. I had to do something.
All right, so we're getting ready for the match here with Jey Uso versus Montez Ford. The match, I thought was a good match. I loved it. Knowing that what situation was they're going to get ready. I think they said winner gets a stipulation, which we didn't get to hear of the stipulation until I guess Money in the Bank. But let me ask you, Samurai, what's your thoughts on that match between Uso and Ford? I thought it was great. It was phenomenal. I love the fact with with Ford with that. My God, that frog splash, the elevation on there. And right now, Usos are the it tag team that they bring it either singles or tag or competitors. They are good in ring performers, Samurai.
I remember he had a way to go do something.
Oh, so Heel, same question to you.
Oh yeah, I mean the Usos are just fantastic right now.
Got you.
Yeah, and yeah, both of these tag teams are just great. You can argue phenomenal in the ring. I mean, and the Usos, I mean, they have been in the A game X for a while now, and I mean, it was no shocker when WWE planned on giving them the titles. If I'm being honest with you, I mean, obviously it kind of was, but kind of not at the same time. Um, and yeah, I'm curious to how far the Usos are going to take those unified tag titles. Same with Roman, but yeah, I mean, the Usos are just flat out one of the best tag teams in the world. I would dare say they are the best tag team in the world right now. Not just because of titles, but just because their chemistry, their in-ring work, their quality of wrestling. Considering I don't know how many times like they botched just in the year because I know every match is like clean.
Safe workers.
Yeah, they're really safe. They're fun to work with. I mean, granted, if you want to go outside the ring, yeah, they had some controversies, but otherwise, just as wrestlers in the ring, they are just great. They have no issues with them, and they have a character too and everything. Yeah. So yeah,
And they could work in all facets. They could be a fast paced match. They could be a technical wrestling, high flying. They could provide a match in all different facets of the. If you want a different type of match, they will provide it, and very entertaining. The Usos are very, you could say underrated, but when you're unified champions, how much underrated could you be? We're looking at territory where you might say Mount Rushmore and tag teams, maybe not there, but making a climb immediately.
oh yeah, that Samoan wrestling gene goes a long way.
Indeed, indeed. And
Yeah.
before we go, I just wanted to say one thing about that Ford. I love Ford's standing blockbuster. It looked great. That was a phenomenal blockbuster with him. It'd be interesting to see. I don't think we'll do a Money in the Bank preview and prediction later down in the week.
Yeah,
We'll leave that for another time, but
and
we
let's
will.
give Angelo Dawkins some love because I know some people don't give him enough love. It's all about Montez Ford. Don't forget Angelo Dawkins. That guy's really good too.
He is good. Samurai, are you
Yeah.
back to give us a quick thoughts on this singles match between Ford and Uso?
Yeah, I'm back. It was it was actually a good match. I mean, the fact that especially the ending when when they said he almost hit his head on the Money in the Bank briefcase, which was farther, very very far fetched because like he didn't jump that high, or he did, but he was nowhere near the briefcases. So I don't know how he almost hit his head.
Mm-hmm. As Samurai gets a delivery from Amazon, and you can see
That was me.
that's heel security guards are in the building.
Yeah, he's getting deliveries.
All right, so
anything can happen.
all right, so we'll move on here for the second time tonight on Monday Night Raw. And I know this one made heel even more happier. We saw Miz versus AJ Styles and I was like, okay, the A-lister is gonna take on the phenomenal one. You know what? Bring it. It's a special night. It's a John Cena 20-year anniversary night. Let's do it. When these two veterans came in, and you could say, all I could say when I got out of this match, they have great chemistry, and that match was great. I loved it, despite the fact a lot of the naysayers are gonna say, "You see, this is why I can't stand WWE." But and I won't spoil the ending just yet. I want to hear everyone's thought before we go with the victory on who the victors and the spoils. Heel, I know you're like a pig in crap when you saw Miz. What? Go ahead, give the flowers to the Miz there.
I believe there was a promo before this match I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
we'll do all the
Yeah,
Cena's promos. Yeah, let's talk
yeah.
about it and we'll talk about the promos
Well,
quick.
no, I'm talking about like the Miz promo. Like I'm talking about there was a Miz promo before this match, if I remember correctly. And then man, the Miz again, just a phenomenal worker. Again, the Miz is one of those rare wrestlers that can work with literally anybody. You can put him in there against anybody, and he will put on the best match he can for you. And 9 times out of 10, that's going to be a clean and fun and interesting match. And the interesting part about the Miz, he's sort of an old school wrestler in the sense that his moves don't even tell the whole story in the ring. His character does. Hold on.
Yes, he characters does. And Samurai, what's your thoughts on that match with?
Sorry, that was my sister.
Yeah,
But
well,
yeah,
hold on. We'll get back
okay.
right. So give me a minute. Let's go with
Okay.
Samurai, like, so you can give me the Miz thought there.
Well, what do you mean? Well, like I mean, I like he says, he can tell a story in the ring. It's just that, like, when he's some of his kicks and stuff, people complain about how he's like the worst, like he's like the safest wrestler in WWE, but like he has to be. He doesn't want to hurt anybody else or himself, so that's why he has to be as safe as he is. I mean, I don't see what the problem is. At first I didn't like the Miz because because of how safe he worked, but then now I see that the reason he's been in the company so long is because he hasn't really done anything high risk or high flying or anything like that. So that's why he is still there.
Yeah, and I just want
Right.
to finish by saying, yeah, his character is one that tells the story in the ring. The Miz does, and that's what I like about him. He's like an old school wrestler in like a new school kind of way, which is really interesting.
I mean,
All right.
he did some interesting moves I've never seen him really do. Like what was it? He did that like
Well, Samurai. Here's the thing about WWE wrestlers, especially the ones like Miz, Cena, etc. It's not that, and I'm surprised I learned this by now. It's not that they can't do like what other wrestlers can in the indies, like the destroyers, the football at the top rope, the mugshot, as Hangman Page would call it, or like that. It's just like they're trained to be more safe than they are like extreme wrestling. So the Miz, if he wanted to do like a Canadian destroyer or something like that, he could. He just chooses to either A, save it for a big time match, or B, just not really do it because obviously they're taught to be more safe and just clean wrestlers than they are extreme and all this and that, like the AEW is.
Oh yes, I'm aware of that. I'm very aware of
Yeah.
that.
Like that. That's why when Cena, when they were all saying like he can't wrestle and he pulled the Hurricanrana and all that, they were all like, "What? He can do that?" It's like, well, yeah, duh. Again, that you were trained to be wrestlers. Like again, but they're trained in the quote unquote WWE style, which is to be safe and know when to do moves like that to get a pop.
Right. And
Yeah.
before that, we saw Miz cut a promo talking about his balls needs to stop, and I think that's what got him frustrated or going into the match. That we saw, unfortunately, we saw a good finish being kind of, you could say, robbed. Well, Miz leaving and causing a count out, and AJ Styles wins on a via count out. I understand everyone's going to criticize it. WWE don't give us sometimes finishes with the DQs, do the count outs. And AEW gets you finishes and victories. They're telling a story, and I think they told the story there. Now if they tell you if they run it back on Friday, Miz versus AJ Styles and Money in the Bank, are you invested? Just a quick yes or no. Heel.
Oh yeah, I'm invested.
Samurai, would you be invested?
Same here. I would as well.
Of course, absolutely with that. And we'll do a little rapid fire because of time constrictions,
Yeah.
folks. Just apologize for that. We sound a little rushed because NXT Live is about to begin for myself when I have to get into the arena. We saw a promo backstage, a real Cena with Ezekiel. It was a funny one. It sounded that maybe Elias is in the building showing Elroy around, which was hilarious. And Cena's advice: be yourself. And was like, Yeah, Ezekiel was that was hilarious. So, did you like that one, Zeke? Eel?
Zeke,
Yeah, I
yeah,
called Ezekiel.
yeah. I loved it. Again, this Ezekiel stuff was really awesome. I really loved it. No pun intended.
Yes.
Yeah.
Samurai, did you like that promo?
I did. It was quite,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was. Now they did mention that Kevin Owens that match was scratched, and then now they're making. I think something happened personally. We couldn't make it, and Kevin Owens took it to Twitter saying, "I didn't want to be in Texas because of WrestleMania. I hate Texas." I liked it that you see now they're bringing kayfabe or behind the wall into part of the storyline, which is cool. I appreciate it. Without you don't have to tell us everything about your business, but I like the fact that they kind of brought that something personally happened. He couldn't make it to Texas. That's fine. We don't really need to know every detail, but I liked it that he kind of said that he didn't like Texas and he added it to the storyline. I'm okay with that. I'm
Yeah.
fine with it. I liked it. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one real quick on the match. We saw Alexa Bliss versus Liv Morgan. They cut a promo in the back and finally, Morgan actually calls Lily by her name, Lily Doll, and said that Lily would look nice with the briefcase. So, marketing ploy, you put a Lily Doll with with a briefcase. You can sell more of those dolls. All in all, both ladies get into that matchup. Personally, I was like, wow, these two ladies look like the two Spider-Man memes going at it. To
Mm.
see Liv Morgan win, I was surprised because Alexa Bliss has been hot lately, winning. But it looks like they're telling a story where Liv Morgan might get a title opportunity. I don't know if she'll win the Monday Night Raw, but it looks like I wouldn't be surprised in a few weeks from now on a Raw or SmackDown, she's a competitor for the title. Just a match. What's your thoughts with? Are you okay with Liv Morgan winning? And you see the story they're trying to tell here, Amigo?
Yeah, Liv Morgan does need this win more than Alexa Bliss, and yeah, they do have similar styles, and yeah, that goes to show that that WWE does make one of them a little bit more different than the other. I mean, maybe they kind of are, but yeah, I did enjoy this for what it was, and again, AEW, this is called putting women at the right time, not always the 9 o'clock hour. So yeah,
Oh
that's all I
yeah,
gotta
I
say.
believe it was
Yeah,
the crossover hour, if not
yeah,
mistaken. We were
yeah,
crossing over from 8 to 9,
yeah.
and I think they did it well. And I wish they would do that in AEW, but that's a whole other podcast. I personally think that AEW should do a pay-per-view for only the female talent, and just or even put 2 hours on a special like belt battle of the belts. Instead of battle of belts, call something and just do nothing but women. But I don't want to get away from that because time restriction.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I liked it that I want to see the story what they're gonna tell with Liv Morgan, but I just wanted to say, Samurai, give me your thoughts on that because we didn't hear your thoughts on Liv and Liv and
Alexa
uh
Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I think that Liv should have won. She needs some momentum going in Money in the Bank more than Alexa. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, no, that's a good thoughts there. I took a little sidetrack. I wish that WWE wouldn't have used this tag name because you could have easily put Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan as the Pretty Deadly. They could have been the Pretty Deadly in Raw as a tag team, but we all know that name is being occupied by the former NXT Tag Champions. But I just wanted to throw a little sidebar on a side note there. I know there was a bunch of promos. Let's go with the bunch of promos because I know time's constriction. Tonight, you could really say before we get to the next match, and I know it's not in chronological order, but I just, restricted with time. We saw the real Forbidden Door, in my opinion, last night. The first name that came out, and I was like, oh, was Brian Daniel or
Daniel
Daniel
Bryan. Yeah.
Bryan. He came out, talked about John Cena, wishing him a good 20-year anniversary, in ring, good, heartful thought words. Personally, if WWE reached out to Tony Khan and AEW, he allowed it. And that's just not the first time that the Forbidden Door was open. This was open back in Slammiversary when AJ Styles went on Impact Wrestling and wished Impact Wrestling their 20-year promo there. And you also saw it with the former NXT lady back into Japan, New Japan Wrestling. She went in and go ahead, Samurai. Do you remember who it was?
No.
All right. And it's good to see that, you know what? the forbidden door there is the real forbidden door being open and interacting, because at the end of the day, we as the fans become tribal with a wrestling organization. But all in all, these competitors, these performers all know each other. They have sweat, they have cried tears, and they have bled together in the ring. And just because they're in a different organization doesn't mean, and maybe some of them don't like each other, but all in all, it's really a brotherhood, and that's what it showed me. And we saw Daniel Bryan, we saw the Wizard make an appearance on Monday Night Raw, and we Chris Jericho, the first undisputed WWE champion, and when we saw the one and only the Big Slow was there, up and running in there. So salute to you guys. What's your thoughts, Heel, when you saw those mega stars, those brand name on WWE? If I would have told you these guys were going to be on Monday Night Raw, you would have like, you're crazy. Are you drinking the Jim Ross?
Well,
Kool-Aid?
first off, it was really smart because yes, you did think of that, the forbidden door, but the main thing you thought about was simply my childhood.
Yes.
Because then that's what also helped overshadow the AEW thing, because you don't really associate with those guys with AEW, especially when you're watching WTV. When you think of those guys, you think of my childhood and early John Cena era type of wrestling, so to speak. And it was just awesome to hear those guys come in with John Cena happy 20 years, because when you're in the company that long, in any company, not just wrestling, but any company, you deserve that type of phrase, because working 20 years anywhere with one company deserves praise no matter what. And yeah, I just really loved it and enjoyed it, and again, got chills.
I agree. Samurai, your thoughts?
I'm with Heel on this one. I don't have,
right.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I was actually surprised when I saw Chris Jericho. I mean, I actually watched the whole Chris Jericho, thing on his YouTube channel, and it's a lot more than that. So,
Wow.
What he said on TV.
Nice. No, but it was wonderful to see both AEW. That was a very classy move. No matter how much WWE fans could be tribal and we and so forth, and vice versa. With it, it's a good thing to see there. I liked it. It tells everybody we need to, we don't need to be tribal. These guys just appreciate their style of wrestling in AEW as well as WWE, and I loved it. We also saw a bunch of promos. Let's go with the quick promos because we're short on time. We saw John Cena cut some promos with which one? All the promos. You had the Street Profits. You saw Stephanie McMahon say a few words from the chair, the CEO, the chairwoman. We saw also Stone Cold Steve Austin said some good words. You've seen all the legends come out and talk to. We saw a little bit of Batista, Triple H. All in all, like you said, a wonderful recognition for a great wrestler. We will debate on another time if he's one of the top 10, top 4 Mount Rushmore wrestlers of all time, or the best. But we'll leave that for another
top
podcast.
5, it's not the best. Yeah,
we'll talk about that in another podcast. Stay tuned with that. That's why you need to hit that notification bell and follow us and subscribe. And let me tell you this here. We even saw a Cody Rhodes sighting. That was phenomenal because he looked, to be honest with you, he had a little bit of a sensation there. You gotta give me a little bit of remember, there's a mystery. One more person left. I wouldn't be surprised if Cody Rhodes goes to Money in the Bank and wins that Money in the Bank match. Ask me crazy, whatever. They could put a protective plastic chest piece for him. I have a feeling that I can see Cody Rhodes and Money in the Bank. I don't know why. I'm just getting a vibe. But did you like seeing Cody Rhodes on that promo?
I mean, who doesn't? I mean, as for him participating, I don't know that. I wish I could know his body, but I don't. So yeah, we'll see.
I mean,
I doubt it though.
Yeah. Okay.
3 weeks after that happened, he looks damn good. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, right. He does. I know you can see the stitches. You can see where the decisions were for the operation. But I'm like, man, this guy looks like he could. Are they teasing us him with being the Money in the Bank? But we shall see there. We'll talk about that on the Money in the Bank preview. Our predictions and notes. And also we also saw a promo away from John Cena. Just a quick storyline was Judgment Day. They runs into the Mysterios backstage. and I thought it was interesting. They're talking about, Ray's 20th anniversary next month. No one cares about Rey Mysterio. How come Dominic's is not any good? Maybe Dominic needs to stop listening to people who's not going to get him in anywhere he needs to go. And it was clearly like a little bit of backhanded compliment, or Dominic needs to leave Ray and putting a seat and join Judgment Day. I didn't see this coming. And I'm interested. What's your thought, Heel?
Yeah, I would like for Dominic to join Judgment Day. I think it makes a lot of sense. And then, on top of that, you have the storyline with him and his father. Yeah, you know what? Do it. Makes a lot of sense. Actually, not thinking about it.
Samurai?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I'm with him on that one because I mean, but honestly, would you really want to see a heel Dominic or a heel Ray? You really have never seen
Ray's
a heel.
not turning. Ray's
He's not
turning
turning.
heel.
He's too over. He's too over for that. To remarketing, rebrand, and break kids. Little kids love him. You might as well put the sun on it. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you. It'd be interesting. So they set up for a tag title next week on Monday Night Raw. We'll see how that feud, opening it up there. We'll move on with the man of the night, who comes out and cuts a beautiful promo, a heartwarming promo. First and foremost, before we cut the heartwarming promo, the music stops. And of course, no chance is what you got. The chairman, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, appears to the ring. And of course, he introduces us to John Cena. I thought it was a beautiful, touching move. John Cena comes out. He writes tells all of us that he thanks us, those that booed him, who said he sucks, who he appreciates everyone. He loves what he does, and it shows that he still loves to be an in-ring competitor and prideful to be calling himself a wrestler, a sport entertainer, a wrestler. It doesn't care, no matter how much Hollywood movie he does or what he does, he knows that it's because of the fans is where he got heel. I loved it. It was heart-touching. It was beautiful.
And not only that, he said no matter what, it's never about me. It's about us. So every time he does anything, it's like it's thanks to us.
Yes.
I was like, that is a perfect promo right there.
Samurai.
Yes. Well, that was a really nice promo that he cut. I mean, he also said that he said that the crowd he acknowledged the crowd and said it won't be one more time, but it'll be a lot more than once more. So he's not done in the ring by a long shot.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Beautiful set up there. We didn't see anybody step up to feud him yet. We saw the big promo backstage between Theory and Cena. Boy, I didn't know Theory was as tall as Cena, a little bit taller. I thought Theory was a little guy, but he's not. I can see why Vince McMahon handpicked him. I love the fact that he walked away and didn't let him get the selfie. I love that heat that they had, and Cena put everyone over. In every of his promos with that, even with Seth Rollins, I love when Seth Rollins came out and he laughed. John Cena sucked with his laughter. I love it. He let him get over by saying, "I broke your nose. You failed in Money in the Bank." All this stuff, and put the heat on him. And then Almas comes out of nowhere. What I loved it because John Cena didn't say much. He looked at almost like, "Ooh, man, look at this big guy," as you can see in the picture. And then he says, "Good luck with that." And he just left. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. Heel, did you like that promo?
I did. It was just fun. Seth Rollins just have a lot of fun with this, and it was just casual. John Cena being like, and then Seth Rollins be like, what are you looking at? And obviously it's Omos. He's like, oh, yeah. It was just a fun promo for everyone involved.
Right. And I didn't leave a match out before. We're gonna wrap up real quick. We saw Theory beating Lashley Almighty. The match was pretty good. They're setting up a story here. You saw Lashley look like an unbeatable foe because we know he's not going to beat Theory in the Money in the Bank. But I liked it. I really liked it. Alpha Academy versus Bobby Lashley. You saw special referee enforcer was Theory. I like what they're building here. I think this feud is going to help Theory with Lashley. And I don't think Lashley will lose his heat, even if he loses a tough bout to Theory heel.
No. But Bobby Lashley, even if he loses, you can tell Lashley's there because he's already over. He doesn't need to win or lose. So uh, I'll just say I think Theory is going to more likely retain, just because Lashley he gets nothing if he wins, he gets nothing if he loses. So Theory
Yeah.
needs this more than anything. I think we all know that, so it's not smartly anything.
Samurai, anything real quick on that before we move on to the main event?
No, I'm not going to add on to that.
All right, awesome. We saw the main event there for the final qualified match. There, we saw it was a Money in the Bank Last Chance qualifier. We saw Xia Li, Tamina, Doudrop, Becky Lynch, Nikki Ash, Shayna Baszler. I like the fact that they gave us that kind of match, not a battle royal elimination match. But all in all, we all knew Becky Lynch was going to come out on top. I like the fact that Becky Lynch, the way she eliminated certain folks, I would have liked to see Becky at the end with Shayna Baszler, but although at the end who was left was Doudrop. Doudrop, what a underrated performer in the ring. I came up with it when I like Doudrop as a performer. She sold a lot of the match. She used her big frame to be impressive. What's your thought on the match, Heel? We know that Becky Lynch wins this with the off the top rope kind of what's her move? It looks like a rock bottom, but I know it's called something different.
The manhandle slam.
The manhandle slam. Thank you, Heel. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed this match. I really liked it. Let's be honest. We all know that he loves their 4 horsewomen, so Becky winning is no surprise. I was kind of hoping they would push someone new, but again, Becky winning is no surprise. So I was already prepared for it, and yeah, Becky actually cut a promo though at the end of Raw. It was a really good promo. I think you can see it on Twitter or
Okay,
Raw's YouTube channel.
I'll check that out. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was when they went off air, and it was a really good promo actually. And yeah, I think they might be setting her up to win the Money in the Bank. To be honest with you, and or else why are they giving her this much hype? And yeah, I really enjoyed this. And again, I wish AEW would put their women like this, giving them a main event spot like that. Because I don't remember them ever giving them.
WWE has no issues.
Yeah.
Are not scared of putting their women in the main event to close their show.
No,
They're not,
no.
and they deliver. Samurai, your thoughts
Yeah.
on the match and Becky Lynch?
No, I have no thoughts. I mean, you kind of saw it coming like from a mile away, because they have that whole storyline with Asuka, and Asuka's in the Money in the Bank, so you would think that if Becky doesn't win or doesn't win the match, she's not going to finish her feud with Asuka, right?
And it's going to be interesting. I think there's one more woman spot left. I guess it's going to be resolved for SmackDown. Both men and women have one more shadow left for another person to be placed in the Money in the Bank match. So we'll see what SmackDown brings. But tune in for us for the SmackDown as well as the Money in the Bank preview show and our prediction show. We will have it here on the BS Sport Jedi Network. But I want to thank you guys. Don't forget tonight. This is recorded Tuesday. Tonight it will be NXT Live 2.0. Myself truly will be in attendance live and in color. We have some good match. You got Zion Quinn versus Zanga will be one there. We have new tag team champion Phil Hayes and new NXT European or England UK champions. We also are going to have the tag time Kiana Carter and what's the other Lord's name? Help me out here, Zama. Katana Chance and Kay Carter are going to take on Cora Jade and Roxanne. That's going to be a real good one there. I can't wait to see it tonight. It's going to be good. I want to see what's going to happen now that Two Dimes is not part of the facet. How are they going to write him off with Fantamo Legado? I can't wait to see that. I can be excited. Of course, I want to see my main man Carmelo Hayes and Solo Sikoa. So I will be live. Thank you guys for joining us. Heel, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us here. We'll be back on for, don't forget, the NXT review as well as Dynamite review. We haven't forgotten about the Forbidden Door review. Our main AEW guy has not watched the pay-per-view yet completely to get his full analysis, which is the Diff Man, Adam, the Diff Man. And I can't wait to hear his thoughts and Dynamite. So, guys, thank you again. Hit that like. If you're not down with us, we just got 2 words for you. just subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen,
My thoughts
just in
get
case
so
you
bad,
live
I'm
under
like,
a rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a bat,
looking
I
at the
don't know, my
youngest
rap, my
and
blood
fastest
boils
rising
over like,
star in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had such a fucked up real bad.
Shut up.
Hi.